Think about this for a moment. You wake up in the morning. Before your eyes even open, your hand reaches for your phone. You make your coffee the same way, take the same route, talk to the same people, and react in the same way you always do. But have you ever wondered, are you really doing all this consciously? Or is something else running the show? That something else is your subconscious mind. It quietly controls almost everything you do. The small habits, the silent reactions, the words you never planned to say. And yet most people never try to understand it. The paradox is simple. It can be your biggest limitation or your most powerful ally. So let's explore a question that has fascinated minds for generations. Can the subconscious mind truly create miracles? Or is it just a beautiful illusion? Before we talk about miracles, we need to know what this mysterious part of us really is. The idea of the subconscious goes back to Sigmund Freud, who compared the human mind to an iceberg. The small tip above the water is the conscious mind, the part we're aware of. But the vast structure below the surface, hidden and massive, is the subconscious. It holds our memories, fears, habits, emotions, and core beliefs. It's the place where our inner child still lives, and it quietly influences almost every decision we make. Imagine this. When you were a child, maybe you were laughed at in front of the class. Years later, when you have to speak in public, your body freezes. Your mind says, "It's fine," but your heart races and your stomach tightens. That reaction doesn't come from logic. It comes from the subconscious. Is the subconscious just a storage room for old memories, or does it actually shape what happens in our lives? Researchers like Dr. Bruce Lipton from Stanford University suggest that even the behavior of our cells can change based on our beliefs. That means what we deeply believe doesn't only affect our emotions, it influences our biology too. Here's something fascinating. The subconscious doesn't know the difference between real and imagined. If you imagine biting into a lemon, your mouth starts to water. If you recall something painful, your heart rate rises. What you feel deeply, your body treats as truth. That's why spiritual teachers such as Neville Goddard and Joseph Murphy say, if you can imagine something vividly and feel it as real, the universe responds. Science doesn't fully confirm that thoughts alone can alter physical reality, but it does show that the subconscious strongly shapes behavior, motivation, and focus. Brain imaging reveals that when you imagine doing something, your brain activates the same regions as when you actually do it. That's why athletes rehearse mentally, and musicians can practice in silence yet still improve. So maybe miracles aren't supernatural at all. Maybe they're the natural power of a mind trained to believe. The subconscious mind is powerful, but it's also programmable. The question is, who's doing the programming? Most of your subconscious beliefs are formed between the ages of 0 and 7. At that stage, your brain is wide open, like a sponge. Whatever you hear, you absorb without question. Money is hard to earn. Good people always lose. You must be perfect to be loved. Those phrases become invisible rules that guide your adult life. But remember, they're not destiny, they're software. And software can be rewritten. There are several ways to change the patterns that live beneath awareness. Here are the most effective ones. Repetition, affirmations. The subconscious learns through repetition. When you keep telling yourself something, it eventually becomes truth. Replace "I'm not good enough" with "I'm capable and learning." Over time, the brain builds new pathways around that belief. Visualization. Picture what you want, not just as an image, but as a feeling. See it, hear it, sense it. When your body feels it as real, your mind starts working toward it naturally. Meditation or hypnosis. The subconscious opens most easily when the mind is calm, in alpha or theta states. Meditation, deep breathing, or gentle hypnosis can open that doorway. Emotional release, letting go. Old emotions block new beliefs. Methods like journaling, EFT tapping, or Ho'oponopono help free that space. You can't plant new seeds in a field full of stones. People often share stories of healing, success, or coincidence, things they call miracles. Science explains some of them through the placebo effect. Believing something works can actually trigger the body to heal. Faith changes chemistry. But other miracles are simply shifts in perception. When your mind changes, life looks different. Two people can experience the same event but see two different worlds because their subconscious filters are not the same. If the subconscious is so powerful, why doesn't everyone create miracles? Because the conscious and subconscious often pull in opposite directions. The conscious mind says, I want success. The subconscious whispers, but success might make me unsafe. When these two clash, the brain chooses the familiar path, not the best one. That's why we stay stuck in the same loops, the same jobs, the same relationships. True change begins not with new information, but with new beliefs. And belief doesn't come from logic, it comes from emotion. Can we actually communicate with the subconscious? Yes, but not through ordinary words. It understands emotion, repetition, rhythm, and imagery. A scent can unlock memories, a melody can open old wounds, a simple picture can move us to tears. When your intention carries real emotion, your subconscious takes it as instruction. Then your awareness begins to notice possibilities that were invisible before. That's not magic, that's focus. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. But he didn't call them failures. He said, I've found 1,000 ways that don't work. Each repetition programmed his mind to persist. Muhammad Ali would look into the mirror and declare, I am the greatest. That wasn't arrogance, it was mental conditioning. His body simply followed what his mind already believed. Mahatma Gandhi led millions without violence because he reprogrammed the collective subconscious of his people. They didn't summon magic. They used the same power that lives within all of us. You can observe the subconscious in ordinary life. If you keep meeting the same kind of people, it's not coincidence, it's reflection. If you repeat the same mistakes, your subconscious is trying to finish an old lesson. If something you desire never happens, maybe a part of you still believes you don't deserve it. The first step to change is always awareness. If you want your subconscious to support you instead of limiting you, start with these steps. Be clear. The subconscious follows simple instructions. Define your goal in one clear sentence. Feel it deeply. Emotion is its native language. Feel the joy, gratitude, or peace of already having what you want. Repeat it often. Consistency is what creates belief. Face your inner doubts. Don't fight them. Listen, understand, then rewrite them. Let go of control. Trust the process. The subconscious works best in stillness, not struggle. Science says the subconscious shapes behavior, not destiny. Spirituality says it shapes reality itself. Maybe they both speak the same truth from different angles. Because when you change, your world naturally follows. The real miracle happens inside, not outside. So can the subconscious mind create miracles? Yes, when you allow it to. A miracle isn't a sudden flash of magic. It's a quiet shift in perception, a moment of pure alignment. It's when awareness replaces fear and faith replaces control. Every miracle begins the moment you remember who you are. The mind lives what it thinks, but the heart creates what it believes. If something inside you moved while hearing this, that was your subconscious speaking. It has always been there, patient, waiting to be heard. Now you've listened. Now it's your turn to create your own miracle.